Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Always excited to have my next guest here, one of the funniest guys ever. My good friend, the great Mario Cantone.
I'm so happy to be back here.
How you doing, man?
I had such a great time last time.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I always rave. I always say, people ask me about what it was like being here, and I said, you know what? He's a really great listener and a great interviewer. He's in the moment. He takes interest, and I mean, not that you're going to take interest in everything, because I'm sure there's some people on here that you don't take.
Sometimes it's work. It's never work with you.
No, I'm so glad to be back.
Well, I was saying, you always look great, and
I know this is on camera on DirecTV, so I have to look good. I came in a suit last time because I came from an event.
Yeah, right. That's right.
And I had no idea this was on camera, so I was like, good. So I'm getting dressed up.
You do
for
look
Artie
good.
And Mr. Richie again.
When I read about you before you come on, I did not expect you to look the way that you do because I read your birthday.
Yeah, I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Surprisingly, you're much older than you look.
I'm really old. And you know what? I don't like getting old. I'm a vain
You're doing
person.
it well, though.
It's the worst thing ever.
It's
the worst.
Can I swear?
No.
Okay, it's the friggin' worst thing ever. I hate it. And you know what Betty Davis said after she had a stroke? Old age is not for sissies. And I'm a sissy, and it's not for me.
No, I am too, because I can't deal with it either, man. It's like you
awful. And you feel, I look in the mirror and go, okay, I don't look my age, but I'm feeling it. But then I feel like I look every day and I just go, it's coming.
You honestly, you look like you're 26 years old.
Oh,
you do.
You are a delight and a pleasure.
I wasn't even saying that. I was talking about your clothing. You were on Sex and the City. Yeah. That must have been, the clothes must have been insane.
Well, the clothes were great. And the first episode I did, I remember Michael Patrick King, who was the
head writer
and the director. He said to me, "Take your clothes." So every time I came back, I took my friggin'
Why not? Yeah.
Oh, I was like, you set a precedent. I'm taking my clothes.
It's really real cool, expensive stuff.
I got like, Dior and gorgeous suits, and I got some great stuff. I didn't take everything, but I have the little diamond pin that I wore when I got married in the second movie, so I have my stuff.
Cool thing about your character was it's a wedding planner, right?
He was a wedding
planner.
So,
he knows how to dress,
yeah.
too. So
that whole show was about fashion.
Yeah. What do you think?
Fashion and vagina.
You think they're ever going to do another one?
I have no idea, but I love to do it.
Last one made a boatload of money, right?
Yeah, it did, and it didn't do that well critically, but it made a boatload of money. And you know what?
Keep making money.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes money internationally too.
Sure.
And people act like that's monopoly money. It's like that's still money, and it's going in your bank account.
It's the reason Stallone still makes movies and kept in Italy and Germany. They love watching Rambo kill stuff.
Money is money. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Now, we were talking before. I guess you didn't see the movie, but Behind the Candelabra.
Oh no, I saw. I didn't see the movie.
Okay.
I watched it the first night it aired.
It melted.
I was waxed to my couch. I melted a candle on my ass and stayed.
Did it take a long time for you to get the image though of Michael Jackson getting Michael Jackson? I keep saying Michael Douglas getting rammed from behind.
Let me tell you the reaction I had. I had what I'd like to call a conservative moment. There was a moment of feeling like Michelle Bachmann walking in on her husband having sex with some pray the gay away graduate. I mean, I really looked like, that's Kirk Douglas's son. He's Hollywood royalty. That's Matt Damon. I thought Kirk Douglas was home with a dimple in his chin going, get off him, like, get off him. I mean, it was horrifying. Do you want some poppers? No, I'm good. No, it's better. No, I'm good. And he wasn't offering him, jalapeno poppers. He was offering him amyl nitrate. It was, I swear to God, every time I hear someone play chopsticks, my cheeks are gonna clench. And I have been in that position many times myself, as you well know, and I was appalled. I can't believe I had that reaction.
That movie went there, man. They didn't leave anything of that.
No, you want to know what? Whoopi Goldberg said it to me. She goes, "This wasn't any kind of I wish I could quit you crap. This was like, we're going to do this."
I could quit you.
They really did it.
No, they did.
And Matt Damon was brilliant, and I thought Michael Douglas was brilliant.
They both did a great job.
They did a magnificent job. Unfortunately, it was very one-sided. underrated because it was based on Scott's book. So you really didn't get to see Liberace's side of it. I felt like he came off like slightly a villain.
At the end, he came off as a lunatic for sending people to kill him, or practically.
And also, like, it's like he goes away and he comes back. He's like kicking you out. I mean, you don't know. And then just him taking the picture and going, "Make him look like this." It's like. And then he did it, but I want a dimple in my chin. That's gonna make up for it. I mean, really?
He does kind of look like Liberace now. He was here last week.
Well, he's still got the Botox up here, I guess. He's got to go. Well,
some stuff was done.
I've had no work.
Really?
I've had no work, not a thing. I swear, nothing. Thank you very much. But I have taped up my skin under my wig.
Well, so that movie melded into our sports world because in the movie, as the character Liberace, Michael Douglas says he lost his virginity. Liberace, and this is documented in a couple other books and stuff, Liberace lost his virginity to a Green Bay Packer in 1939.
1939?
Right.
How about me? I said to Mr. Ritchie, I said, was it David Copay? No, it was David Copay. I read his book. I called him one time.
Oh, really?
I called him in L.A. because it was my first national appearance on a late night talk show, and I called him and I was like, I'm a big fan and I read your book, and I was like 23. I was like, and I want to meet you.
Really?
I want you to have football sex with me, David. But hot, whatever you need. But no, he was very nice. But I did call him. How about me? I called him.
So the Packer, obviously a bunch of Packer fans, like on Twitter, like the homophobia came out in droves. Like, that's not right. I bet he was a bear. Like it matters. But it's some of the players are coming out now. I think that's going to happen. I think the floodgates are going to open eventually.
It's unbelievable, but I've never thought I'd live to see the change. Because even a few years ago, you could have asked me, is it changing? And even in the business, in show business, I'm like, no, it's not. People looks like it is, but it's not. But I think I don't know. The last few years, the country has gone, you know what? I think it's okay to get married. It's a really, it's a big shift. I never thought I'd see it. And I'm a little surprised. I'm very happy, but I'm surprised.
I'm
even though I've got one foot in the grave and I'll be dead before it's all okay completely. Even though it never will be. But go ahead, Mr.
I'm more surprised when guys come forth, football guys come forth and say, I wouldn't be all right if there's someone gay on my team.
I know.
There are guys doing that. That's what surprises me because of the climate now. But it's the hyper-religious guys.
That's the other thing. God comes into play in sports big time.
It's the religious.
Oh, God.
The religious. That's what it is. And that's what gets in the way. And they're very conflicted. It's upsetting. I guess this is strange to say, but no, it's not. But I expect it from the white redneck. It's upsetting when it comes from the black man. Especially a young black man. You think, come on.
Well, because they've gone through so much on their own. But
it does come from that.
It's ingrained in people.
It's religion.
Well, I was flying back from Chicago this past weekend. I was in O'Hare, and I sat down next to this, she must have been 80 years old, really nice, classy-looking woman, and another woman sat down next to her. And she was the same age, and they were going to Ireland to go on a tour of Ireland, of Europe. And they were very sweet, and the other one was kind of butchy and had like a butch haircut. And I started talking to them. I said, how you guys doing? Where you going? We're going to Ireland and everything. And I look like I look. I look like I might not be the most sympathetic guy on the planet. I look like a plumber's assistant having a bad lunch. Yeah. And time's supposed to be going towards the positive because they were very open in saying, we're married. They said, we're married and we're going on like a second honeymoon type of thing. And they were like the sweetest couple and so nice. And I thought it's great that they're able to be that open, not caring about it. And if you really looked at them, you might figure it out because of the appearance of one of them. But, it was nice to see that they were fine with it, and it was nice to feel me being fine with it. It's like to deny people like that getting married is really it's evil. It's evil.
It is evil, and
they're really in love.
And the ones that I mean, it's been proven time and time again that the politicians that are intensely against it are always the ones that are in a bathroom in an airport playing with someone's feet.
No, but
under
Roy
the-
Cohn, though. Roy Cohn,
and
the
Roy
evil
Cohn
lawyer.
too. Oh,
He's the prototype.
Roy Cohn is the original.
The prototype of that, like, oh God,
really is.
If he's not in hell, I don't know where he's going.
He was the original cast album.
What
He
did
really
you
was.
think? What did you think? So overall, besides your performance, did you think that movie was done well?
Which one?
Tastefully behind the candelabra.
I did. I mean, I thought they were great. I thought it was one-sided. I did.
Yeah, that is a problem.
And I thought it was more of a TV movie than I thought it was going to be. Because they're usually not that way on HBO.
That's true.
I just thought, but I thought their performances were brilliant and it elevated it really well. And I'm a big Steve Soderbergh fan.
Yeah, he's
I think
amazing.
He's brilliant.
He's
I do,
amazing.
and I hope that's not his last film.
I
because
doubt it.
He said it was.
I know he did. And
Does
I
he
just
want to
hope-
retire?
I don't know. I don't
Sure.
know.
I didn't even hear
He
that.
came
young.
forth and said, "This is my last movie."
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. Maybe
don't
I'll have
know.
a talk with Steve.
Yeah.
I interviewed Michael Douglas on The View one time, and he was the nicest guy in the world. And that's when it was before he was diagnosed with mouth cancer,
Right.
and he actually announced that he was going to play Liberace. And I just looked at him and I said, "And you
How's that going to happen?
tell me?"
No, I know, and I'll tell you, and he did a great job when you
He
think
was
about
magnificent.
it. Yeah, but he's a guy who got work ethic, man. Like he just keeps going. He announced it on Letterman. He got some chemo, and he's fine.
And he's fine.
Yeah.
And you know, people were giving him crap about the
Oral
whole
sex.
HPV thing and
Right.
in the mouth, and it's like, I don't think he said that because he was trying to act like, this is why.
It might make people aware of it, you know.
I think he's making people aware of something that people don't want to talk about.
Right,
You know, I do.
absolutely.
I really do. I say good for him. I think he's a class act.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about all the gay people in football. I want to know. I want a list, John. I want a
He
list.
swears to God he never saw any. But then we had a teammate of his on who sat right next to him for the 5 years he was on it and said, "You never knew that guy was gay."
Well, that's
Yeah.
because that's not on the top of his list. That's
I
not.
guess
That's not what he's looking.
But apparently,
for.
this other guy knew for sure.
Well,
No, when I growing up, in central Pennsylvania, I didn't know that people were gay.
Were you
I didn't know
Amish?
what gay was. No,
As close to as you can get.
no, but
Did
there
you
are
plow the fields
plenty
and
of
have a
plenty of
pet
Amish
pony?
folks around. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, but it just doesn't register to me.
But no,
It
he
just
really
doesn't
he
matter.
has a history
because
of.
it doesn't. See, that's
He has
the
a
thing.
history of it. Jerry Sandusky recruited him when he was 14 years old.
No?
Never came on to him.
He didn't?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Were you
No.
insulted? I'm kidding.
It
I
seemed
thought
like
he was a great guy. I really did.
I don't. You know, that whole thing is just like. I look at that guy and I just get afraid. That thing just freaks
What do
me
you
He
out.
think
still
about-
maintains his innocence.
I know he does, and the wife does too. You know, but
do
it
you
doesn't
think-
seem that way. I mean, a lot of people spoke about it.
As a comic, Mara, what do you think social media has done for like not only culture, pop culture, but comedy? Is that something you embrace? Do you like using it? But as a comedian, you're like sometimes as an old school comic, I'm like, I don't want to write something funny there. I'll do it in my act or where
I
do
agree
you
with
put it? You know?
I do it in my act.
Yeah.
I never post it. I don't tweet that much. I'll tweet if I have to plug a gig or something. But
So you
I
use
just,
it to plug stuff.
Yeah, I do. But that's it. And I learned. I found out. May he rest in peace. Mr. Gandolfini died on on
you know
my
him?
Facebook feed. I only met him once, and he was very, very nice and. I'm very, very sad about
Wow,
it.
yeah,
You know,
that's
I only
brutal.
met him once, but he was very sweet. But we used to, I used to see him at the HBO parties because
events.
he was doing Sopranos at the time.
Right.
I was doing Sex and the City, so yeah, and it's a shame. And that his son was there.
Yeah, there was 51 is young,
51. And of course, selfishly, I'm in bed. Death comes in threes. I'm 53. I'm going next.
HBO threes. You don't want that.
No, I
You
don't.
want that.
That's scary. And in Italy too, I mean, you're away from home.
I know,
My
that
sister
sucks.
was just saying. My sister who's 69 and she looks amazing. She said, "Don't surprise me. Don't surprise me. Don't let me go on vacation to Italy and then kill me. Don't surprise
Well, you know what
me."
sucks about our families with what we do for a living? We do travel a lot.
Yes, we do.
So you're afraid of, Italy, at least it's beautiful. I'm afraid of, being in a Motel 6 in Wilmington, Delaware. That's, whoa, it's a bad way to go.
I'm going to L.A. Tuesday. I don't want to die even in L.A., okay? I do not want to die in L.A. I want to die in New York.
What now, with HBO, have they, since you were so great in that show, have they ever approached you to do
No.
a series or anything?
No. No.
With your one-man shows and everything?
No,
they never-
that was Showtime that did my one-man show.
But HBO, after your performance on that show, they never,
it's been very tough after that
You're kidding me.
performance because I don't know. It's either a very strong character and they see you as that one thing. And
That doesn't make any sense.
I know it's been tough. It has not been easy for me. I've just been working on my one-man show, which I'm hoping to bring to Broadway next season. And
Oh God, I can't wait for that.
you
man.
know, so I've been traveling around a little bit with that. You know, once or twice a month, I'm good. That's all I need.
Right.
I don't like to.
You don't do
too
the road
much.
more than a couple times a month.
Oh, God,
See, I
no.
try to adhere to that too. Like sometimes my agent talks me into like 3 because you get addicted to the money. Like, oh,
Yeah,
really,
you do.
really? And then you book it, and then now all of a sudden you got to. Like, I was just in Chicago last weekend, DC 2 weekends before, and now I'm doing my third in 1 month in Florida tomorrow, and I'm like, what am I doing to myself?
Well,
you know, you hear about the money, like, I'll take
It's
it.
the
you know?
money.
Yeah.
It is, but it's also, you know, it's for me. It's not. You know what? The fear about it is the fear about it is it's all that before stuff.
Right.
And I'll go a month or two sometimes without doing a gig, and then I have to go do. And I don't like doing 15 minutes. I like getting out there
No,
and
I
doing
know.
my 90 minutes with my band
you're
and
a
do the whole
performer.
show.
Yeah.
I like doing that. So you know, I'm going to do that in Atlantic City at the Golden Nugget.
That's
on
great.
Saturday, next Saturday.
The best compliment you could give a performer, I think, is like when I hear those words, Mara Cantone, one-man show. Like I know a million people, I would just say that sentence to them, like, "Oh my God, when?" You know, like people like my sister, or other comics, anybody will go, "You can, I got to see." Like I can't wait to see that.
Well, I'm the white Sammy Davis Jr.
That's what I mean. And there ain't nothing wrong with that, my
No,
friend.
there isn't at all. He was great. No, you know, I love to sing. I mean, I'm not a pure stand-up. I mean, I have parts of my show that are pure stand-up, but I love the musical. I love the musical part of the show.
Well, I used to follow you at Caroline sometimes. I would do the late show there.
Yeah.
And you'd be doing your late show, and I'd go on, midnight with this group of guys who did stand up with like one of those bad boys, edgy boys.
The bad boys of comedy.
Whatever,
Oh, yeah.
One of those stupid things that went on. They tried to do for money, and you would be ending up, and it sounded like Oklahoma was going on like this. But it was, but we were laughing like guffawing inside the bar, the buzz bar there, and just not even seeing you or hearing you. You could tell you love it. You could tell you love it. Yeah.
I do love it. I have a lot of fear about it, but I
You
love
you
it.
still fear performing?
Yeah, I do. I don't. Yeah, I do fear it.
The singing part specifically, or
No. God, if I was just a singer, I'd probably be less afraid. It's the. I don't know. I just think I'm getting older. I don't feel as quick.
Come on, man. I bet that's wrong.
Maybe I don't feel. I certainly don't have the drive I used to have.
Yeah,
but
no,
that's been
that's
the
true
drive
of me
has been
too,
gone
yeah.
for 20 years. I mean, you know. But you know, now I turned 50 and all of a sudden I'm going to the opera. How cliche is that?
Are you
That's all I
really?
do is go to the opera. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars at the Metropolitan
Have you
Opera.
learned to love the opera?
I can't believe, it's like 50 plus gay equals opera. I can't believe I love the opera. No, my husband and I have been going to the opera. We both discovered it at the same time.
That's great.
And the classics, and even like modern opera, like John Adams, like Nixon in China, which is so amazing and odd. And I think it's not even an acquired taste. You either love it or
Nixon
you
in
hate
China sounds great.
it. Oh, Nixon in China's John Adams. Holy
But it's great that your husband found it at the same time.
He
So
did.
you're like, now you got something to do together.
You know what's so interesting? You were talking about those two women on the plane, and it's still strange that we got married 2 years ago, and it's so odd that like for instance, I was in San Francisco at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and I was like, he's going to drive too. Does he have to sign and show his? This is my husband. And they were like, nope. Your husband, you're one. This was Enterprise in California, where, by the way, gay marriage is not even acknowledged anymore in California.
But San Francisco, though, so it's a little better.
But
I guess. But I
San
thought
Francisco.
I just gave it to Enterprise. I was like, good for you. Thank you for acknowledging. And you feel like they're gonna go, no, I'm sorry, you're homos, and we do not acknowledge that here at Enterprise in California.
We'll have none of that in our cars. Boy. No, it's good
They're
that you
so
can feel that way.
progressive. California is.
well,
They're ahead of the game.
In some ways.
They are in some ways.
They're a weird state. It
I
is.
disagree with you, John.
Really?
I'm going to tell you something about California. When Proposition 8 happened, and they wanted to reverse gay marriage, I said they're going to flip that over on its ass.
Yeah,
no,
they're a
that's
weird-
not going to
they're-
happen. Yes, it is.
They're a weird
Watch.
state
And
because it's San Francisco.
Okay,
it's San
the
Francisco.
politicians perhaps had an agenda when they did that, but the populace in general.
But they vote
they're
them in,
progressive.
John. They vote them in.
But
They
John,
vote
you
'em
know
in.
what else
They
about
don't-
California? Especially Southern California, Hollywood.
Oh, I'm talking about northern.
You're talking north. I
Yeah.
love Northern California.
Yeah, I'm talking the Bay Area.
I love.
I don't know
No,
LA.
I
at
love.
all.
Well, I think of. I'm actually going to Healdsburg in Sonoma for like 2 weeks. I go there a lot, but I love the Bay Area. But L.A., Hollywood, and some of Southern California, I just feel like you talk about the sports world. It's taken forever for show business for people to start coming out.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, people are terrified still. Even people that are behind the cameras.
Afraid it'll ruin their career.
Oh, it's just, I mean, and like, I'm not even a person that's considered, well, he came out, because it's like, there's a list, on AOL who's come out. I'm not even on it because I came out in 1872.
Man, we got to take a quick break. I want to ask you more about that, actually, something specific. We're going to take a quick break, come back with the great Mario Cantone. Oh.